Just over 2 years ago, Hong Kong was a beacon for press freedom in Asia, home to a vibrant local press community and a regional base for dozens of international media companies. That was before the national security law. Since it was imposed by Beijing in 2020, the sweeping law has increasingly been used to target journalists and media companies. For many, it's the law's ambiguity which is most dangerous.
They know that there are red lines now under the national security law, but the government has left those red lines fairly unclear, so that basically people are forced to self-censor because they don't know exactly where the red lines are. The current chief executive, Carrie Lam, gave a press conference and she was asked, where are the red lines or what are the red lines? And she said rather ominously, you know where the red lines are. In other words, basically saying, self-censor yourselves and you'll be safe. And I think that's very alarming.
Hong Kong's two biggest pro-democracy news sources, Apple Daily and Stand News, have been directly targeted in the national security crackdown and forced to close. But according to a new report by UK-based charity Hong Kong Watch, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
The impact of the national security law, the police raids on newsrooms and the closure of Apple Daily, Stand News and others. And then more recent developments, including, for example, threats of a so-called fake news law, the weaponization of visas for foreign correspondents, and also at the same time, the intensification in aggression by the pro-Beijing media. It seems that as the independent media has been shut down, pro-Beijing media has increasingly filled that space in terms of its aggression towards critics.
But there are concerns that the worst is yet to come under incoming Chief Executive John Lee, a man with a reputation as a hardliner who was tasked with shutting down the 2019 anti-government protests.
I think that we will very likely see further undermining of press freedom in the months to come under the new Chief Executive, John Lee, who, of course, is a former policeman, a former security secretary, and I think he will tighten things up even further.
The spectre of a fake news law, enhancing the government's control over information and introducing a mainland-style licensing scheme, has haunted Hong Kong for months. Now, John Lee has made it part of his official platform. Legal experts say it may be the last nail in the coffin for press freedom in the city.
A few months ago, the Security Bureau had already indicated they are drafting a fake news bill to be tabled in the Legislative Council very soon. This is quite disturbing, as we have seen the government can already use the existing sedition laws to arrest or to prosecute journalists or editors or commentators. If they introduce a fake news law, it will further enhance the government's ability to regulate information flow, as well as to create a chilling effect in local journalism, as well as foreign journalists who are based and who observe the development of Hong Kong.
With darker days ahead, what was once Asia's brightest icon of press freedom looks set to dim further. Ryan Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.